Yo, 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 what's going on? This is Afi Kingdom back again. I got a special guest, and we're going to talk about quitting your job one-on-one. A lot of people nowadays, they want to be Bitcoin experts, they want to be trading experts, they want to be all of this shit. But it's more of a hope. They don't have any plan. It's a dream. So I brought on one of my good friends. She's a fellow author and a fellow content creator, and a beautiful lady. Right there, you're looking like an OG snack right now. I see you got the hair.
No snack.
I can't.
That's funny. That's the new urban term.
You looking like a celery bar.
It's funny because I just made some celery juice, some celery, beet, apples, ginger, wheatgrass. I just juice for the morning.
Mm-hmm. And if y'all don't know, she's a vegetarian. So I'm just poking fun.
No, I'm a vegan.
Oh, vegan?
Plant-based vegan.
Put me on game. What's the difference? I thought vegan was slang for vegetarian.
No, vegetarians, what they do is they eat dairy, they eat eggs, cheese, no animal products as far as no meat. They don't eat flesh, but they do eat, particles of the flesh, which is dairy, eggs, cheese. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and vegans don't eat any animal products whatsoever.
My championship, yeah. That's what's up. You just put me on game. I didn't know. I just thought that was like the cute way to say it. Like, oh, I'm vegan. I just thought that was like the cute way of saying
no. A lot of people tend to get those two, titles, misunderstood. Mm-hmm. So, because sometimes I go to a restaurant and people will agree, like, well, yeah, we have vegan stuff, but they associate vegetarianism with veganism, which is two totally different. Because I don't want dead animal flesh at all in my body. Our bodies are not made up to chew on dead animal flesh. That decayed flesh is not healthy, and it does state that in the Bible.
Can you do me a favor?
It's controversial. It's controversial because there's some, scriptures in the Bible where it can say, or someone can interpret that, meat is good, because God put animals on earth. But the circle of life don't pertain to us. It pertains to the live animals, the hunters.
No, I got live animals right now.
Tigers. Lions and tigers, their enzymes, they have enzymes to break those because they don't chew their food pretty much. They tear it off the bone, they eat the bone and everything from a dead carcass. And they have enzymes in their bodies that help break down that meat much faster. We don't have that in our bodies. So that's the main difference. Oh, look at the little pooch.
Yeah, live animals, right? So look, let's get some backstory, because even me, I'm transitioning from educator to online educator full time. And for you, I thought it was pretty interesting how you told me you had some similar background. So let's start there. Let's start from your 9 to 5. Well, what were you doing in your 9 to 5, and what was it that kind of sparked that thing where you said, I'm tired of this? Because you always had those feelings, but what was it that made you produce action?
I don't like to be complacent. So I just really was frustrated the fact that I'm getting the same paycheck every 2 weeks. That just made me so frustrated. And getting another job, I didn't have the time. I was a single mother. I loved working out. So that would take away from my time with my son. That would take time away from me working out. Or I even started coaching too. So I wouldn't have been able to do that, trying to live a specific lifestyle that I, wanted for myself. So there was no room for growth teaching. I didn't want to be an administrator. I didn't want to be a principal. How many years that would take for me to get to that point. And I didn't have any aspiration to go beyond teaching, so to say.
I wanted to be a vice principal before I started doing YouTube. And that's just because the vice principal was more hands-on with the kids. The principal was more admin. I wanted to yell at the kids still, So but that changes. So you was tired of getting those same paychecks. You didn't want to advance. Did COVID have anything to do with it? Because for me, it did.
No, I started teaching in 2002.
Yeah, and what were you?
And then I started to. Okay, so how it happened? There was a job fair. I lived in Virginia, in Lawrenceville, Virginia, way south. Down 85, about 40 minutes south of Virginia State University. I lived there, and I heard it was a job fair. I heard on the radio there's a job fair near DC, which was 2 hours up. North. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Fix my resume, do my resume. I'm like, you know what? Johnson & Johnson's going to be there. I'm going to be a pharmaceutical salesperson. I went there, killed the interview. I went through, to other companies. There was other companies, but they were all commission. I was like, ugh. All right. So I didn't get the job at Johnson & Johnson. That you needed 10 years sales experience. So that sales experience did not exist on my resume. So I got home. I got back home. I want to say maybe 2 days later, I received a call from Calusa Investments, which was a mortgage company. When I got that call and they told me that it was 2 weeks paid training, you can close loans during that week, and it was $1,200 a week for paid training, and then you get your full pay if you close a loan. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm going to close the loan, and it was all commission. So I was like, wait a second. So now I have to use my savings to buy furniture, because the place I was staying in was furnished. So that helped me a lot, a great deal. So I got a move-in truck. I got some of the stuff. My son stayed back just for maybe like 2 weeks with his friend. And I spoke to his mom and they worked it out with me. Left her some money to take care of him. And then maybe 2 weeks later, he came up. I closed 2 loans my first week, brought furniture, found a townhome, and we lived like happy for several years there.
Yeah.
Several years. Yeah. And then I decided to move up north. I was the same company. They was opening up another location in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So I, pretty much my boss was like, would that be something I would be interested in? I said, absolutely. So, I was, going to be like an office manager, and I was helping training, because I was I was top of the sales. I was like top 10 in the company. But that, it didn't work out. I got married. I actually got engaged. My ex-husband.
I just got engaged for Facebook for fake.
Huh?
I just got engaged on Facebook for fake.
How's that?
I was playing a joke and people just ate it up, man. And they was really proud of me and sending me all these condolences. Oh yeah,
What?
I was playing, guys. God damn it, bro.
Wow.
Girls was wanting to sleep with me. They were sending me sleep with me, like, how much, when you get in marriage, how much time you got? I'm like, bro, y'all mad disrespectful. Yeah. What? Crazy. It was all a joke. I thought people was gonna be like, man, Alfie, get your ass out of here. That's what I thought.
No. That's one thing I don't get is, how women can, like, our bodies are sacred, and a lot of women don't value, like that this is our temple. You know what I mean? Like, we have an open womb, open womb, and we bear children. We give life. We bear a whole human in our bodies. So just to have like just frivolous sex is just not meaningful. I just don't understand it. You know what? To that you brought that up. Let me speak on that real quick too. I don't understand it either. Now I know it's double standards and things like that, but I don't want to have that debate with you. We not, but it's different from me slaying women than women opening up. That's just my opinion. Like, I don't know. It's just different. Like, yeah, like for me. Explain the difference.
Because, man, like, because we're hunters. So, if men can.
Wait. Who's hunters?
Dudes are hunters.
By nature?
Yeah, by nature. Yeah. I'm putting you
so
on.
So God made men hunters. Absolutely not.
All right, let me make my point before you even get started.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, if I was a woman, I wouldn't want hella dudes pouncing up and in me and then just like every time it's a different guy and stuff. It would just seem weird because I don't know, because a woman is just different. Like, I don't know, like just like you said, you have to connect with a person to have sex with them. You're not in the, but see, for dudes, it's not like that. So it's just a different dynamic. The same way we're different. We make the babies, y'all have the babies. It's two different things. So if I was a woman, I would want a relationship with somebody. I don't know. It would be, okay, put it like this. I can have sex with 3 women in one day, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 interactions. But it would seem weird for me to be a woman and be laid up, and I got a big dude, and I could just see his face going up over me, and then later on, I'm bent over and I got this one, and then another one, and I go to bed. It just would seem weird, bro.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. But for a dude, it's different. It's just kind of like eating 3 pieces of pizza. You know what I mean? It's not. We don't connect the same. Like I could have sex with a woman. Personally, I like to have attachment too. But I've been at those places when I was younger where it didn't matter. I could have sex with you. I don't even ask to know your name and shit, back in the younger days. So I do feel it's different. But let me ask you this about like quitting the job and stuff. How much pushback did you get? Did you share your ideas with families and friends? Like how did that part of it work?
No, at that time I was so independent. And when I moved away from home, by that time I was moved from home, I want to say 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So my family wasn't looking for me to come back home. And besides, my brother had already moved in my apartment that I had. Well, it was our family home, and I had the upstairs apartment, and my brother had already moved in. So I honestly didn't have a place to come back home to. There was my place was taken over by my brother. Yeah. So I was forced to become, independent and live on my own. I had to pretty much live happily ever after, right. With my son. So, I just made a life for myself. I was proud of myself. I moved up north. I got that job. I worked all commission. I was at work. I made it work. I managed my time appropriately. Was able to get bonuses every 3 months. I was in heaven. I loved what I did. I loved being a mortgage loan officer. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of flexibility. So if I didn't go into work, I'm not going to make money. So I'm at work sometimes all day from 7, sometimes to 11. And the reason why I stayed late because of the West Coast hours. Some people could come home from work and then they're calling into our office seeking to refi, purchase a home. So I have to stay at work. 6 o'clock, people getting in at 9 o'clock or whatever the case may be. Or I'm there till 9, they're getting in at 6, excuse me.
Yeah. When you used to teach, what was your
I'm sorry?
Oh. I thought you got abducted by aliens. I was about to call the police.
No, the phone rang.
Oh, okay. When you did teach, though, what was your group? It seemed like you was teaching like the young kids because you're such an athletic person.
It's funny because I taught gym and English. I taught gym, English, and health.
What was your passion, gym?
So, it was gym. You know why? Because I can connect better with the students. It was almost like I was coaching, even though there wasn't a coaching opportunity at that moment. But, it was almost like I was coaching. I had some, run-ins with certain students who didn't want to dress for gym, or, just being a smart aleck. I was young. They didn't know how old I was. I probably looked the same age as they at the time.
High school.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So you're talking about, like, how many years ago now, We're in 2022, and we're talking about 2001. You know what I'm saying? So imagine this baby face now. Then,
I got the same thing because I started
19, 20 years ago.
I started when I was young too. So and then like even where I'm at, there's a lot of Tongans and stuff like that. So some of those cats is bigger than my ass, So I'm looking young, but man, that's pretty good. And so now that you're a full-time entrepreneur, could you imagine yourself working again? 9 to 5?
Yeah. If the money is right. I'm gonna do a Dion move, yep.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna make it obvious. Like, of course, if you're gonna get $500,000 for a 9 to 5, you'll take it. But I'm just saying something reasonable, like,
See, my business, I have the potential to make up to $50,000 plus a month, depending on how hard I work. So they would have to offer a lot.
Then we will have to have $50,000 per month. We're gonna have to have a private conversation. Jesus, $50,000 a month. Shit, I want to get some of that money too, man.
Yeah. I'm just building generational wealth. I have a grandson, and it's not easy out here. So I want my baby to, just be able to compete in this world and move with confidence, don't have to worry about finances, don't have to worry about where he's going to live, what his next move is, just go to school, carefree, like, some people do today. I'm not going to do the racial divide and talk about the whites and the blacks, because I can't say all Black people aren't, held bound by poverty. It's not the case, because it works both ways. Whites and Black people, should I say melanated people, they're, everybody has their issues. But for me, I just want to set my grandson up and get him prepared for life. I want him to be financially, wealthy.
My jitters is bothering me. We got to rewind a little bit. What's this 50,000 a month position again? I need a little taste of this. What is this now?
Freight broker. So we move freight for truck drivers, for shippers, for these large companies. You're talking about these manufacturers and distribution companies.
I need like 30 of that. I don't even need the 150.
And then 50 you would need, obviously, in some staff. You would need some help. You need some employees. I'm looking for employees now, but to make that type of money, yeah, you certainly need. I got you. You certainly need.
If you can't hire me, hire my belt. I'm a good networker. I'm a people person, man. Just give me like.
I got you. I'll hook you up. Seriously.
Just give me like 37, and we all right.
I know, right? I know.
You can keep the 7. Go buy you some red bottoms, baby. It's all me.
Yeah, I'm not into like a lot of name brand stuff. I mean, some stuff looks good, but the people behind these names, they're just not, honestly, they're just not valuable to me. And we make the name brands valuable. We put the price tag on it because we pay that type of money. I just can't see myself paying, thousands for a pair of shoes. I wouldn't do it. Not Jordan 1s, not joking. No, but seriously, I can't see myself paying thousands for shoes. Maybe a few hundred, a couple hundred, because of comfort and quality, for fashion, but not on a regular basis. I like to put my money, I like to kind of make money off of my money, and you don't make money, it depreciates as soon as it leaves the store. And then you figure out, who's making these shoes, they're overseas, at these sweatshops. They're making them for $10, and here they all sell them over here. They actually did a study. I want to say it was Payless, one of these Payless companies, shoe store. They put the higher price tag on their Payless shoes, and shoes that cost $11 and $10. They marked the price up to over $1,000, and people was buying it.
Really?
Yeah, you look it up. They just did that recently. I want to say it was a few months ago. I forgot what area, what state they did that in, but yeah, people was paying over $1,000. They ended up refunding everybody's money, but they wanted to prove a point.
Mm. They definitely did prove a point, man.
They did prove a point.
That's crazy. What would you like suggest? Even like myself, like, see, for me, at first, I wanted to leave my job, and I had in my mind, like, I can't, because this is what I'm trying to say. There's a fine line between planning, having a plan. What do they say? You need 6 months to a year of savings, all that stuff.
Yes.
Then there's also that fine line of other people who just say, I bet on myself. Like, say, for instance, The Rock, the wrestler, he went and he got fired from Miami Dolphins, and he went with $7, blah, blah, blah. Here he is. So what do you think the line is between just being safe and betting on yourself?
I don't know about anyone else's story. Some people can say that they stayed in the car, but some people punish themselves and live in a car but they still have money. They have bank accounts, they have money. So I don't know anyone else's story in depth to, kind of just embark on their life. But for me, I would have savings in advance, because I've moved around so many times, in my life as a single mom. I've moved around, and I always had to have, X amount of funds. So just in case, and those rainy days, you never know. I never had those rainy days because I had the savings. So yes, it's important to budget. It's important to, like you said, have 6 months to a year in advance for your monthly bills. And it could be anything, food. I mean, you have to get around, you have to contact people, your cell phone, you can get the minimum. There's ways to budget, and economically. So if you get the cell phone, like right now, my cell phone is too expensive. I was thinking of ways where I can get the same type of service at a cheaper price. It's just a lot of these companies, they're monopolizing, and just that price tag is just unacceptable. I have 2 phones on my line and I'm paying $130. That's ridiculous.
You want one for you and one for your son?
Absolutely not. My son is 30. No. No. My son, he has his own cell phone, and thankfully his cell phone has never been cut off because he has a son. He's getting there. He's a young man, 30-year-old man.
I seen your grandson.
You saw my baby. Yeah, that's my baby.
My niece just had a daughter. I gotta go spend time with her, man. I've been busy traveling around. I was in Asia. Somebody smashed my phone and everything.
Yeah, you told me. How was Asia?
Man, it was excellent, man. I'm just trying to narrow it down. The next thing I gotta do is do a little Africa tour, and I can make a decision.
That is like my dream trip to go to Egypt. My dream trip to go to Egypt. I probably would cry.
Don't have a dream trip the same as mine. Don't do that. Because seriously, because what I'm gonna do sometime next year, I'll tap you in when I figure it out. But I want to do Egypt, and I keep always say this shit wrong because it's kind of close. Because when I went to Rome and I went to Morocco, just right across there. You know what I mean? At the same trip. So I want to go to Satroni, Greece. Am I saying it? I can't always fuck it up.
I'm not familiar. I'm sorry.
Satroni? You have to be familiar. I'm gonna pull it up. Satroni, the place where it's all white.
Oh yes, it's so beautiful. When I first learned of it, well, I actually visually saw that place on my TV. The screensavers, it just like popped. I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. There's a lot of places I wrote down or took a picture of it because, oh my God, it's so beautiful, especially places in Italy. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make it, I'm in my 40s and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to make all these places that I wrote down, but I will damn sure try, I'm praying that, when I get married, my husband loves to travel because that is certainly going to be on our bucket list together because I don't want to travel alone. I'm Muslim. So it's like, that's not something that I look forward to doing. I want my husband to be with me. And in Islam, Muslim sisters can't travel solo.
Well, and what's up with that? Because I seen your post, maybe not recently. I didn't know. So how's that go? Like, so like as far as dating, because I see you not covered up now. So like, how's that go?
I'm home. Yeah, I'm not covered up. I'm home, and when I go out, I don't wear a hijab every day. I'm a new shahada, so I'm learning. I am gaining the confidence. I'm gaining the knowledge of Islam. I am growing spiritually. I pray every day. I make sure I get up and make wudu. I make sure I pray Fajr. There's 5 prayers a day. Sometimes it can be challenging, but I do my best. Allah deserves the time because, there's times when we're wasting time doing other things. There's times when I would just go to the mall because I want to walk around, de-stress, when I can be home and pray, and just thank Allah for, blessing me just for life. Because
you want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
When I seen that, I thought she was trolling. I thought it was like one of those filters. How people be putting them filters on.
Oh, really? It. No, I don't even think they have a hijab filter.
No.
I think that would be sort of disrespectful if they did.
I mean, shit, they be having all types of shit nowadays. So
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like the way your jacket buttons up like that.
Yeah. It's the vacation one. Maybe that's what.
Yeah.
So how's that go? Like, you can only date a Muslim. You can't have sex. Like, how's it? Because I'm curious. Because like even
I don't want to speak on the sex part, but
no, that's cool. But like, you got to be married. Like, how's it? Like, do you have to be with somebody Muslim too, or it's breaking the rules if you're not?
Yes. It's not about rules. It's just, like the respect. And in the Islamic faith, a non-Muslim man wouldn't know how to protect a Muslim sister, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Under Islam.
Okay, let me ask you. You ain't got to get too deep. So, but let me just ask you just one more thing about that, and let me point out to the camera. Now, this is for the listeners. You see how when people don't know things, this is how you learn. You ask questions. I don't know every fucking thing. See, that's why she teaching me. So I'm not gonna be. So this is game for you guys. You got to be able to humble yourself when you don't know.
That's right.
Because just like the vegan shit, I don't know. Now I'm sitting around in the universe saying, yeah, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So. So yeah, I was curious. So like, what is the Muslims that have multiple wives? Is that a certain sector or is that a preference?
Okay, so the multiple wives thing, I believe the individuals outside of the Islam faith, they misunderstand it and misinterpret why a Muslim brother would have multiple wives. It's not because he wants to get his freak on or anything like that. It's because the Prophet Muhammad was a helper. He married the woman so he can help her. The woman, her husband had passed away and she had a child, and he married her, asked his wife if it would be okay to marry her to help her. So in our instances, you have to, the current wife has to agree for her husband to be a helper to another woman. And yes, that's when they can have multiple wives. Well, so it's not because he wants to be a freak or have multiple women that he wants to sleep with. It's not that for that purpose. It's to help her.
Is there a number limit on that, or is it just
7?
Just on the 7? I be telling guys.
The Prophet Muhammad had 12 wives, consecutively. And it was at time it was multiple. But his first wife was Khadijah. But over time, he was helping other Muslim sisters. It's a beautiful story. Like, I love, everything I've learned thus far. So I was questioned, well, how can you become Muslim if, you are a monogamous person? And, my response was, that's a misunderstanding. That's, you can't say because I converted to Islam, I have to accept polygamy. That's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
It's funny. I was talking to my bro, AV, shout out to him. And we were just, cause we're older cats. This YouTube space is mostly younger cats, but we're like the OGs. We're the 40-year-old plus kind of player cats, right? So we were just kind of having a conversation just about how different it is. Cause like in the 90s, when we were like quote unquote players dating and stuff, most the whole skit was guys had their main girl and then they had side girls, they cheated or whatever. So the thing is, it's like now, like this stuff wasn't open back then. So it wasn't like we did that because we didn't have no game or we were scared. That's just how it works. Like it wasn't none of this. Like back when I was in high school, for you young cats, if you were to get oral sex, that was like a big deal. I know that's hard to believe. Like a threesome was like, bro, guess what? Hey, where you at? Well, you gotta talk. Like now it's just regular stuff, but it's just funny how just through social media and propaganda, how things have evolved, and it's normal. It's normal to see two women kissing and just things like that. But I remember when I was younger, it was so taboo. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of different. What's accepted? Like the poly thing is like a fit. Look, these guys not really like, they don't really want multiple women for the right reasons. I trust me, I know they don't. They just think it's cool. Like, hey, if I got two girls and know about each other, I ain't got to cheat. Dude, you got to have super management skills. You got to have a whole lot of things to go on. You just can't pick two women and just think it's going to roll because you picked them. Like, it's a certain... Did you freeze?
No, I'm listening.
Yo, I'm like, oh, shit. You did a good job right there.
I should have played it off.
Yeah. So it's like you can... Because I've had multiple girlfriends before. Before the polygamy thing, though. Before it was the thing and they made memes about it.
Now, when you said you had multiple girlfriends, did they all know about each other?
Oh, yeah. Yep. So what happened was, I'll give you the quick story. So basically, okay, have you ever seen How to Be a Player, Bill Bellamy?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was me at first. You feel me? I had a girlfriend. And then so I would sneak around over here. Was the main one. And so what happened was I watched Flavor of Love, and I seen the dynamics of how the women would fight over each other, and they would compete for him, but not really for him. It's amongst each other, but he would reap the benefits. And the thing that people don't understand, that people say, "Oh, he's famous." When that show came on, he was washed up. He got back in the game from that. So it's not like he was, it wasn't like he was Ray J. Like he was like Mr. Sexy guy known for it. You know what I mean?
Ray J sexy?
That's his image.
Okay.
And just because you don't like little guys like that,
I don't know if he's little.
He's
image is not sexy to me. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but Ray J,
like, you can tell he can get girls. Yes or no?
He's famous.
You can't tell he can get girls.
He's nice. He's a cute man.
In contrast to Flavor Flav.
Oh, in comparison to Flavor, you talking about night and day.
Right. So that's the point. So I'm saying, so I was watching it and I'm like, okay, these girls are fighting over this California raisin. And he's not even that famous. So if he can do it, let me try it.
Be nice. I like Flavor Flav. Stop it. Be nice.
Yeah. So that's when I start having open conversations. And that's when I start like having girls that I date. I would link them together. You know what I'm saying? So not off the rip, but if I'm dating one girl and I'm dating another girl, I'll let her know about the other girl. And if it lasts, I would connect them. And then if these last, then I would connect another one.
I see.
And, so I probably went up to like 5 like that.
Wow.
Different occasions though. Different.
And that is totally like not what Islam is about. So.
Oh no, I know. I know that.
That's what Muslim men do. That's not the case. And you have some Muslim men that aren't perfect, but you have some really good Muslim men. And I hear people saying, "Oh, I will never date a Muslim man." That's fine. You know what I mean? It's okay. That's their prerogative. But that's not a word. But that's their preference. So Bobby Brown got me saying prerogative. But anyway, it's their preference. But just Islam as a whole. A beautiful religion, and I just wish I converted earlier.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm here. It was in Allah's time. I study, I read, I walk in faith. I do everything with intention. I'm not perfect, what I'm working on is like my cursing and just I had a lot of trauma, but I can't keep using my trauma as an excuse to react a certain way and respond to people a certain way. Yes, we all have triggers anytime we've experienced some trauma, but we're also taught, if you go to therapy, we're also taught how to deal with those triggers. And I have the tools in a sense, and sometimes I don't exercise it. And that's my fault and my flaws that I'm working on, spiritually between, me and Allah. So I'm a work in progress.
You want me to tell you my player ending story? You want to save it for the interview?
Let's save it for the interview. And you said your player image?
Ending story.
Player ending story? Yeah, we'll do that for the interview. When is our next interview? When do you want to do it?
When you want to do it.
Thursday?
What's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Friday.
Rapid fire. Let's do it. I work. Let's go. You can't outwork me in this. Thursday. Let's do it then. But you know what? I'll skim it just for the listeners. So I'll skim it. So basically, it was a 3-step process for me.
Save it for the interview. Brief it. Just brief it.
I used to have a lot of women, Eva, for reals. Cross country, everything.
From what you're saying, I believe you.
And so the first thing was me getting 2 DUIs in a month, chasing booty. And so in California, if you get a third one, that's a felony. So I'm like, damn, is chasing these chicks really worth me getting? Because I'm gonna have to go to jail.
Well, it's not that you was chasing them; you was drinking. So it had nothing to do with the women.
No, it had everything to do with the women.
So why did you need to drink?
The first one, I came out of a strip club, and the second one, I was chasing booty because I was out partying with friends and girls, made it home, and then got a text message and went to get more booty.
Okay, so you were out partying, drinking, and then you're trying to find booty, basically.
It was connected. Trust me on
I
this.
understand. That makes sense. I got
The
you.
drinking is the prep.
I'm thinking you're home drinking, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go and buy
Drinking
t-shirt.
was the prep for the fun.
I see.
There you go. So that was the first step. Then the step was me hitting 30 and me falling into society's narrative of it's time. I gotta like I even start wearing suits for a minute, trying to, and I'm like, this shit ain't me, man. You know, but people were like, oh, I gotta be in a relationship. I gotta at least find a person. And then so that was the first settle down. That was step 2. And then the step 3 was when I did my first monk mode. If you don't know what that is, that's just basically when men just take time away to accomplish their goals. And
what is it called?
Call it monk mode.
Month bowl?
Monk, M-O-N-K.
Oh, monk bowl.
Yep. Monk mode. M-O-N-K.
Yes.
M-O-D-E.
Oh, monk mode. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
basically,
real...
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically what happened with that is so I took off 9 months from sex and women.
That's impressive.
I only had I think I failed maybe 7 months in one time because a chick flew in to see me from another state. So but then once that went down, I was like, that wasn't worth it. So in that time, I wrote 4 books, and all 4 of my books were number 1.
That's awesome.
And so then, right. So in that time, I tried to start dating again. And then it's hard because it felt like they were taken away from my passion. Like, okay, I'm sitting up writing, I'm trying to create content. You want to go on a date. I don't even know if I like you. So I didn't have to come home instead of 8. I'm coming home at 5 to get ready and shit, take your ass out. Then I don't even like you. Now it's 10 o'clock. I could have wrote a fucking chapter and just things of that nature. And I'm like, man, fuck that, bro.
Wow.
And then I, try to have, really relationships and stuff like that. And, it just didn't flow. But what I did learn from it is I know now what I need out of a woman to be successful.
Right.
In a relationship, not in life, but in a relationship. Because at first I was going for what I wanted.
Right.
And not what I needed. Now I know what I need. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Just like how I told you check boxes. Like I really meant that because I know what I like, and I know it's like I know now. But that's from taking the step back. I didn't know before the step back.
Right. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Is that your knock at the door? Okay.
Yes, my son just came in.
Hey, son. All right.
Say hello. Say hello to the people. This is my
hello, people.
Brother, how are you?
Fantastic.
You're on live.
Yep.
How are you guys?
You're gonna get a cameo in a few days, probably on the weekend.
I'm gonna get a what?
A cameo.
What's that?
You think we look alike? Todd, come down. Look.
You gotta scoot him over. Y'all do look alike.
My sister.
Whatever.
And then y'all probably really looked alike when he was young. He probably had a curly top.
He used to tell people I was his little sister for real. People believe
she is.
Yeah. See, I didn't met your kids. Now you didn't met my kids already.
I saw 2 of them. Yeah, the brown and the dark one.
I felt bad. I had to turn down the dog. I really wanted the dog too, but I don't. These 2 dogs is hard.
Oh.
See, that wasn't that bad, was it? That wasn't that bad.
Not at all.
No. See, we good for about 10 more minutes, 10, 15 minutes. You good?
I think we're gonna have to cut it in a little bit.
It's cool.
But we're definitely getting back on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Thursday we can do an hour, so.
All night. Let's go. I'm a debut a different belt too. I'm the champion of all trades.
You know what?
And y'all better know this is a purple one. This purple. This not black. This is a purple one. Huh?
I said, wait a minute. I want to bring my trophies, but I'm like, wait a minute. I don't have any trophies.
I'm pretty sure
they were all destroyed.
You slam dunked on a couple of. You know what's funny too? You teased me the other day talking about I was a keyboard basketball player. That was hilarious.
I said cyber.
How you know I don't have hoop skills for real?
No, you was talking trash, so I called you a cyber baller.
Well, you know what? I can't even cap you. I am a cyber baller. That's why it's funny. I can't play no basketball. I can't play no basketball, but I thought it was funny. Do I come off like I ain't got no handles or what? I might have all the handles.
Right.
So you gonna call me a 2K specialist, man? That was messed up.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a wrestler. I got UFC holds and all of that. That's cool. But let's end with this. So
Okay.
I want you to tell the people who are tired of the 9-to-5 hustle, tired of the grind, tired of the lifestyle, because it can get repetitive.
Absolutely.
5 quick tips on how to branch over from 9-to-5 to entrepreneur. And then one bonus tip on what to expect, you know what I mean? And then we'll just go from there.
First thing is, find your niche, find what you love to do. So when you don't leave your job, you can find something that you feel pleasurable about. Just leaving your job for, just to have a business, it has to be something that you enjoy doing. You have to create your entity, whether it's an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, whatever it is, you have to do your research. You have to make sure that, you are protected. So you want to make sure that you either speak to an advisor, either a lawyer, or, sometimes they have these online companies that assist you with, creating your LLC or your business entity as a whole. Understand what your state laws are. Just know that you will need some startup money. There's a lot of states that offer grant money for new businesses and new startups. So look into that. So that way you're not using your own personal funds.
And one quick sidebar. What about cats like me who've been working for years and we got big money in retirement? Would you suggest taking that out or no?
No, don't take your retirement money out. You're going to need that in the future. Like I said, they have grants and they offer grants in your state, in your prospective city sometimes. Whether if it starts off at $10,000, they still offer some type of funding.
No,
but if you don't have to use your personal funds to start your business, that's something that you would need to look into, because you wouldn't want to use your personal funds.
Well, I ain't got to now because I'm about to get 50 a month, so that's already.
I started businesses with nothing. To be honest, it's something I wanted to do. I knew that I would persevere. I know I was a hustler, so I'm telling people to have 6 months of reserve plus. Because of inflation right now, I would say to do that, and just so you're comfortable and you're not just jumping. Start out with your 9-to-5 as well as your business. So put your 9-to-5 first, and then make some time for your business, almost like a second job, until you're able to live off of live off of your business, and then you can quit your 9-to-5.
I'm living for that day. I'm really living for that day. Like, I really want to know how it's gonna feel, because you think about it and you wake up and you like, and then you pick up the phone and you just know, like, this is it.
Right.
Because it's different. It's different when you quit a job to get another job. It's a big difference when you quit a job to get another job, to quitting a job for no job. It's a whole different. Yeah. And I just wonder how that's gonna feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it can be scary.
Yeah, like the phone, like, I'm about to stop teaching, like, right now. Like, it just seems weird because I've been in it for so long that I'm living for that day. Like, I just wake, like, you go to bed and you wake up and it's like, I'm gonna do it. And I just really want to know how that's gonna feel. I think I might cry or something. I ain't gonna lie. For real, man. It's a big step, man. And,
it's a big step, but if it's something that you love doing, it won't even feel like work.
Mm-hmm. For me too, though, because it wasn't my dream to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I thought I was just gonna be a principal, and I was cool with that. Hey, I get to make 100-some bands. I could take my summers off. Cool. So I thought that was gonna be my life for a long time. This is all introduced to me. This wasn't like a plan for me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And just give them like one thing to like look out for, like, because like for me, what I'm realizing is I think my hardest hurdle, even me being an entrepreneur now, I'm an entrepreneur, but I still work. But my biggest gem to give you guys is, man, people not gonna put it like this. The people who you think is gonna embrace you don't. I just leave it right there.
Right.
And it kind of like affected me. I'm used to it now, but it kind of affected me. And then I started getting so much love outside of what I thought it was. It doesn't bother me anymore.
Right.
But at first I was kind of tight. I ain't gonna lie. Like, what the hell? Like, you know.
Well, the one thing you need to look out for is the taxes. You can't escape taxes, you know. So death and taxes are the two things you can't escape. You can escape from paying, you know, high taxes by reducing your tax liability, but you need to understand where you fall in the tax bracket, you know. So make sure you keep your receipts, make sure anything that you are seeking to write off, you keep great records of, because the IRS has been cracking down and they are auditing a lot of people. So just make sure that you have all of your documents in order and you're filing the right forms.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one key thing, because tax evasion is real. People are getting locked up for it.
Damn, okay. You know what? I was going to end this video with your video, but I don't feel like logging into Instagram. So I'm going to have it ready because, you know, I want to see them no-look passes, and you know what I'm saying? So tell the people where they can find you or reach you.
You can find me on Instagram at EVA, which is EVA_preneur, like entrepreneur. So EVA_PRENEUR.
You not gonna do it? All right. It was a pleasure as always. We'll talk soon. I'm gonna link her in there and look forward to seeing us chop it up. I appreciate your time. I appreciate we met the families, but there wasn't no food though. That's the only problem. When you meet the family, it's supposed to be food with it, but I'm hungry. I don't know what happened with that, but whatever.
Well, my son just brought me home. He's a bar manager at a Thai restaurant, and he did bring me home. But it's a little too late to eat. So, although I do want to get it.
Miss Karen, put it, line it up.
It's a vegetable spring roll. They make really good Thai vegetable spring rolls.
I'm practicing my directing. Line it up so I can seem like I'm grabbing it. I'm practicing my directing skills.
I see.
You didn't put the food.
Here we go. I got you. Here you go.
Thank you. Now take it away. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Thank you, sweetie.
Yes,
again soon. Make sure y'all drop some comments. Let us know what you learned. Let us know what resonate with you. Listen to it 2 or 3 times because we went off and on topic, but it was all wisdom that you need.
Absolutely.
That's the most important part, because you have to learn stuff that you think you don't need because you're going to need it later. Trust me on this.
That's very true.
Actually, I let that happen to teach y'all that at the end. You see, that's the master level directing. You didn't even know that. All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right. You do the same. Thank you for having me on the show.
My pleasure, baby.